everyone. Today we will be playing Disaster Island Survival.
Everything is correct, Sheriff Labrador. We are about to face several catastrophes. We will test our resilience and learn how to act in such situations.
As you could see in the distance, there is an island where we will find ourselves in a few moments, and we will strive to remain calm in order to make clear decisions.
We have spawned. It seems to be a large cottage, and there are even villas on the beach.
And palm trees. We need to grab a couple of coconuts just in case there is a zombie apocalypse and we need to survive in a bunker.
I don't think we will face such a tough challenge right away. First, there should be a catastrophe, not survival.
Just look at this. There is even an elevator. It's a very luxurious cottage. I would stay here for a couple of weeks.
You know, it would be too much space for just the two of us and quite boring as well. I would invite all our friends.
I agree with you on that. We would have a great time here. But it seems the catastrophe is starting. It looks like there will be a heavy rain.
I'm afraid this is a sign that a flood is coming. We need to get as high as possible.
One moment, I want to confirm our suspicions. What if it's just a heavy rain?
No, it's very clear how quickly the water is covering everything on the ground.
I see the highest spot on this map. Let's climb up there.
Looks like we made it to the highest point, Labrador, just in time too. The water's rising fast.
Yeah, but it's getting crowded up here. We need to be careful. One wrong move and we could be knocked right into the water.
I know. If we fall in, we'll get soaked. And with this cold wind, we'll be shivering in no time. Not to mention the risk of getting sick.
Let's stay close to the center and keep our eyes open. If anyone gets too close, we'll politely remind them to give us some space.
Look, it seems the water has stopped rising. Maybe we can go a bit lower. It's safer there.
Good idea. There, we won't be crowded with others.
Look where the guy in the elevator went. He's going to drown.
Oh no, it looks like the water jammed the elevator's electronics and it's sinking. Poor guy.
Oh no! Someone pushed us into the water. Now our paws are wet. Why didn't we go to a deserted place like I said?
Hooray, buddy! We survived our first catastrophe. Now we know we need to be careful in crowds and always stay higher up.
All right, it looks like this is the Roblox office. Let's take the elevator to the top floor.
Oops, I hope that wasn't us who broke it. There will be a lot of people in the elevator now. We need to quickly press the button so they won't be able to get in.
Guys, you can't jump in the elevator or it might stop and you'll have to wait for the repairman.
I wonder if the guys who didn't get in the elevator with us will be able to escape the catastrophe. What if there's an earthquake now and we'll be in a disadvantageous position?
Someone didn't manage to get out of the elevator and they went down.
Judging by the warning, there's going to be a tsunami, so we were right to climb as high as possible. Great.
I wonder whose workspace is right in front of the elevator. It's not convenient, and the sounds of the moving elevator will be disturbing.
2 antennas. Let's climb up to the highest one.
I don't think there's a need to climb so high. And besides, there's a very high chance of falling and breaking into pieces up there.
Don't worry, Dobie. You remember that I'm a born parkourist.
Of course I remember. Here comes a giant wave. Let's tell the guys how you realized that parkour was for you and how you trained for it.
Of course. Back in the distant past, when I was still in school, I couldn't even imagine that parkour would become my calling. At that time, I was just an ordinary boy who spent more time with textbooks than outside.
Yes, but you always showed interest in physical activity. Do you remember how we often played games in the yard that involved running and jumping?
Of course I remember, but parkour, it was something completely new to me.
Hooray, we've overcome another catastrophe.
Oh right, where did I leave off? It all started by chance. One day, I saw a guy on the street effortlessly overcoming obstacles, as if dancing with them. I really liked it, so I decided to give it a try.
And how did it go?
Well, at first, it wasn't easy. I often fell and got bruises, but I didn't give up. I wanted to get better, so I kept training. Every day, I went out and jumped over railings, ran on roofs, and looked for new ways to move.
And eventually, you became a true master of parkour.
Yes, it was a long journey, but I realized that parkour is not just a sport. It's a way of life. It's about freedom, creativity, and self-confidence. And when I became sheriff, these qualities helped me in my work.
You're right, Labrador. Your experience in parkour has made you even more effective and flexible in fighting crime.
It looks like we're near an erupting volcano. Why would anyone build something close to a volcano? It's so dangerous.
Let's hope that the bubbling lava won't come flying at us directly in the face. Probably to prevent that from happening, we should move further away.
For example, we could squeeze in here between the containers, although it's very narrow and probably hard to breathe.
Then we should look around and find a better option. We could also try to hide in a house. At least there's a roof there.
Well, let's give it a try. The main thing is to have a good reaction in case the lava starts melting the wall and floor and flies towards us.
Labrador, let's talk about lava.
Okay. You know, Dobie, lava is such a fascinating and at the same time terrifying natural phenomenon.
Absolutely, Lab. Lava is both beautiful and deadly. It's amazing how something so destructive can also create new land.
Right? The sheer heat of it is incredible. Did you know that lava can reach temperatures of over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit?
That's scorching. It's hard to imagine something that hot, and the way it flows, almost like a slow-moving river, but with the potential to obliterate everything in its path.
It's a powerful reminder of the Earth's inner forces. I read somewhere that lava comes from the mantle, which is a part of the Earth that we'll never see, but it influences so much of what happens on the surface.
Yeah, and when it cools, it forms new rocks and even entire islands. It's like nature's way of recycling and renewing itself. It's hard to believe that all of this was created over time. Evolution is an amazing thing.
While we were talking about lava, we survived the catastrophe. So it looks like this place sells cars. As usual, let's take the elevator to the top floor.
I hear the sounds of breaking glass. I don't understand why they're breaking it. It could have protected us during a catastrophe.
In a few seconds, we'll find out what kind of catastrophe we'll be facing. In the meantime, we can explore the building.
Wow, there's a car. Let's try to take it for a ride.
Let's try it. Just make sure we get in faster than that guy.
We did it. We can go. Oh no, an earthquake. We need to get out of here quickly.
My God, the wheel came off out of nowhere. How are we going to leave from here?
Let's try to get into the elevator. Maybe we can still escape from here.
What? Ouch! The ceiling collapsed on us. I'm hitting the gas as hard as I can.
Come on, elevator. Why aren't you moving?
We made it. Now we'll escape.
Why is it so slow?
Half of the building has already collapsed.
No, our car completely fell apart. What a pity. I really wanted to drive around the streets.
I can't get out. For some reason, I'm being pushed back. It's probably the 9.0 earthquake.
We made it out, but unfortunately, our car didn't survive.
Let's tell the guys the story of how we saved the city from destruction. It was an ordinary day in our quiet town when suddenly everything changed. The ground started shaking, houses were cracking at the seams, and panic filled the streets. Dobie and I, the sheriffs of this town, immediately knew we were dealing with something unusual.
We quickly gathered the people to find out what was happening, but I had my suspicions.
Yes, Dobie suspected it wasn't a simple earthquake. While he talked to the residents, I went to the scientific center on the outskirts of town. There, learning from the scientists that they were conducting experiments with earthquakes, I realized the cause was human intervention.
We couldn't allow this experiment to lead to a catastrophe. Together with Lab, we developed a plan of action. We had to stop the earthquake and save the city.
After evacuating people from the danger zone, we started taking action. The scientific team helped us develop methods to minimize the consequences of the experiment and soften the blow.
Through our combined efforts, we managed to prevent further destruction and save our city from disaster. It was a real challenge, but we did it together, Labrador, and the city is grateful to us for that.
Meanwhile, we're riding up the mountain on a ski lift. It's a shame we didn't bring skis.
I noticed that the wind is very strong and we're swaying. I hope we're strapped in. I'm not very fond of heights either.
Oh no, the acid rain has started. We need to urgently take cover under a roof.
It's too small a house. I don't think it will withstand the acid for long. Let's move to the neighboring large house.
I agree with you. A wall has already been blown away. Let's run.
We need to think through our actions a bit to anticipate all the consequences and prevent failure.
Horror, she didn't make it in time.
It's good that we have a small supply of health-restoring provisions in our bag.
By the way, there was once acid rain in our city too. Let's tell how it was. It was one of those days when everything around seemed calm until this nightmare began. The sky turned dark and acid rain started falling on the streets. The townsfolk were in panic. And we, Sheriffs Dobie and I, realized we needed to act urgently.
First, we had to calm the people down and organize the evacuation of those in danger zones. But then we decided to find out the cause of this nightmare.
And we were shocked to learn that it was all caused by a mad scientist conducting weather experiments. He accidentally triggered this acid rain and couldn't stop it.
We realized we had no time for deliberation. We needed to act fast to save the city. We assembled a team of rescuers and headed to the scene.
We devised a plan to stop the rain and clean the air from acid fumes. It was dangerous, but we had to take risks.
With the help of special devices and chemical agents, we managed to neutralize the acid precipitation and prevent further destruction.
Great, we've even survived this catastrophe.
It was great fun, Labrador.
Yeah.
Well, folks, our video is coming to an end, which means it's time to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see the second episode of this Roblox place, let us know in the comments, and we won't say goodbye.
See you soon.